Namaste. Today we are going to watch why 25 degrees really is hot in the UK. And I always had this question because I used to see videos of people from UK feeling really hot, and they were saying that okay, we are melting at this point of time and the things around us are also melting. But when I used to see the temperature out there used to be like 25 or 30, and that is so common in India, and that is not at all hot for us Indians, because 25 and 30 is like a chill day in India. In India it is 35 to 40 normally, and that's when it gets hot, and some days it even goes above 40, so that is very hard to take up. And now, like, why you people get so, like, I think so it could be also because like you are so habitual of being in the cold and like not being near to the sun, so that is why you might feel so hot for 25 degrees. But I really want an answer to this question.
So basically, I belong from a hilly area only, and I spent my first 15 years in my hometown only, and it was a hilly area. And after that, I come to the basically a hot place for my studies only. So when I came here, so I used to feel so hot here because I was so habitual of 22 or 23 degrees Celsius. But when I came here, I used to take bath 2 or 3 times in a day. But now I have spent my lives 5 to 7 years here in a hot place, so now I am very habitual to that place. And whenever I go to my hometown and it is a cold place, so I found it very cold. So maybe that's the reason why UK people feel 25 degree so hot. So, and maybe it could be another reason too. So yeah, let's watch the video.
I think so Vanchika might tell us about something, because she also lives in such a place where I think some hot is very hot. So let's see what they will tell us about in this video.
Now, with the continuing high temperatures in London,
Londoners are looking for relief from the stifling conditions.
Little hate it, the current heat wave doesn't come without problem.
When the UK struggles through a heat wave, temperatures over there can get as high as the mid-30s.
Mid-30s only?
For someone like me who deals with this weather for winter, that doesn't sound like much.
Yeah.
So do the Brits just need to toughen up? I mean, we've got roads melting here in our summers. We're all used to different climates, yes, but there's more to it than that.
Video will be using Celsius. Okay.
For starters, a heat wave is relative. Basically, it's different depending on where you are. The World Meteorological Organization loosely defines it as more than 5 consecutive days of temperatures exceeding the average max by 5 degrees Celsius.
Okay.
So in the UK, it averages about 20 degrees over the summer months, whereas in Australia, it averages about 30 degrees.
Oh, so the average.
This means it doesn't take as high a temperature to trigger a heat wave in the UK. If we look at other cities, in Toronto, their summers are about 25 degrees. A heat wave there is 3 consecutive days over 32 degrees.
Oh.
And in India, with temperatures around 35 degrees, they wouldn't call a heat wave unless the air temperature reached at least 40 degrees in Plains region.
Yes, so common for us.
In Australia and other countries with high summer temperatures, our buildings are built to keep as cool as possible. The concept is nothing new. It's called vernacular architecture, where buildings are designed based on local needs, materials, and traditions. Take a look at this house.
Oh.
This is a Queenslander found in, Queensland. They're built out of timber and on stumps. The space underneath the house helps cool the building through ventilation. There's always a wide veranda for shading and protection from heavy rains, and a corrugated iron roof which is lightweight and durable. And there are plenty of other examples of this type of building for your environment from around the world. This is a house from the Aksar province of Saudi Arabia, where the temperature is moderate but it rains often. The protruding slates cascade rain away from the clay walls. In the Philippines, Bahay Kubo huts are built with bamboo, with sufficient ventilation for the hot summer, and raised above the ground to protect against torrential flooding. The igloos of the...
I feel like, okay, these houses are very good and they are good, but they cannot be implemented in India. Because what we see in India is because there are places like Delhi, and those are very prone to earthquakes. So we cannot build these houses because these do not look like that strong or that can face the earthquakes. And also the thing is that India, everything is too much. Like heat is too much, then winter is also too much, and also then there is rain is also too much. So that is why you cannot some like the heavy rains of Mumbai, these houses won't be able to withstand that, and they will be quashed under it. So we cannot build these houses. We have to build those cement houses, even though those are not so good in ventilation, but we have to adjust that with bringing in more ACs. That is the only way.
Inuits, Rondavels in Africa, and Girs in Mongolia. You get the idea. And along with this, there's plenty of other architectural choices made to respond to the environment. Our public spaces include plenty of shaded areas and sufficient ventilation. Not to mention, the majority of the population, about 85%,
Lives on the
lives
coast.
within 50 kilometers of the coastline, where all the major cities have developed.
Meaning that even in summer, we'd get a nice sea breeze to help cool down the hot air temperature.
But over on the other side of the world, it's not that easy.
Keep yourself cool, drink plenty of fluids, keep out of the direct sun in the heat of the day, and also keep your home as cool as you're able to by using curtains, keeping windows open at night, and so on.
Did you notice something he didn't mention?
But
Air conditioning is not really a thing in the UK.
Offices and shopping centres are more likely to have them, but they're not a given the way they'd be here in Australia and other hotter climates.
Oh.
They're just not needed.
That's because, like how Australian houses are
in
built
my
to keep
home,
cool,
there is no
in the
air,
UK
like,
and
there
other
is
colder
no
climates,
fans or
everything is
the
designed to keep the heat in.
AC.
There aren't many
They
overhanging
don't
eaves or
count
awnings
25
or shaded
degrees
outdoor
Celsius
areas,
as a
and most windows are
hot
double glazed so
temperature.
that the temperature inside buildings stays as warm as possible during cold winters. Public transport is another big one. The tube is notorious for its lack of ventilation, which means the heat generated from the trains can't escape the underground system very easily.
oh,
This is fine for an English summer most of the time, but as soon as the mercury starts rising, it becomes a bit unbearable. Rest assured, aircon is coming to the central line, but in 2030. So only a few years to go then.
This is all well and good for part of the year, but on the flip side, when it gets cold in Australia, you really feel it. Yes, even if you're from a place where sub-zero temperatures is normal.
Because the houses are designed to perform well in summer, buildings don't really retain much heat. Even though the winter months aren't as cold, with averages of about 5 degrees, most houses aren't properly insulated. The large eaves that give you welcome shade in the summer stops that same sunshine from entering in the winter.
oh.
And of course, the British homes which heat up during the summer stay nice and warm during the cold winter months.
So the actual infrastructure of a city can help the temperature feel hotter or cooler than it actually is. But depending on how long we've lived in a city, our physiology can also affect the way we react to certain temperatures. It's called acclimatization, and it's our body's long-term response to extreme temperatures.
So it's not just about sweating when it's hot. It's how our bodies decide when we sweat, how much we sweat, our tendency to sweat, and even the amount of salt in our sweat. It only takes about 2 weeks for a healthy body to acclimatize, depending on different factors. And it's faster to adapt to heat than to cold.
If you're used to a certain range of temperatures, anything outside of that range would feel uncomfortable to you. So both acclimatization and our city's infrastructure affects the way we feel temperature. And while we might think we're good at certain extremes, we could be proven otherwise. So next time you see this, or this, maybe don't be so quick to judge.
Yeah, I can understand the difference that she's talking about, because like I have the same experience with Vanchika also, because Vanchika lives in a hilly area in India and I live in a, you can say, in a plain land or near to the sea. So for me, like in my place, the coldest time goes around 10 degrees or maximum 9 or 8 degrees, and that is too cold for me. And if you come to my place, like everybody would be wearing those winter clothes and everybody will be freezing at that point of time, even at 12-13 degrees also. But for Vanchika, I don't think so that is too much for her, because that's kind of the norm out there. But if heat is concerned, in my place it is about 35-40 easily in summers, and that is too hot. And like if that goes into like Vanchika's place, like she will be burning, because that is a mountainous area and you cannot handle that amount of heat.
And in my place, the lowest temperature which goes is around, sometimes it goes around in minus also, and 2 or 3 degrees Celsius is normal. And even in summers, 25 or 26 degrees Celsius is last. Mostly in my place, the temperature doesn't increase than 26 degrees Celsius. So, and from this video we also got to know that it totally depends on our physiology, and it also depends on the infrastructure of the states or the countries. So as we all from this video we also got to know that in United Kingdom there is no ACs or fans. Same in my place there is no AC or fans, and there are basically in my place there are like two types of houses. First one is of cement and another one of is wooden. Like the people who has wooden house doesn't feel that hotness in the summer, but the people who live in the cement house to feel hotness in the summer. So it depend on the infrastructure of the building or the state. And obviously the transportation was the another reason too. So I do think that this video was so logical. Yeah, so I really enjoyed this video.
And the way she was explaining everything, I think so it was very much understandable, and I think so now I consider you people like UK people also, like okay, like how do you guys feel heat? And that is why like I was thinking about like 25 degrees, how the roads are melting, how can these things happen? But the thing is you are habitual of that things. So what do you guys think about it? Do let us know in the comment section below. So do like, share and
Subscribe.
bye.